So this movie I'd never seen before. Mr. Blu-ray, they're still live, so that's okay. But they recommended it. They recommended this movie, and honestly, it was way better than I thought. I've heard of it before. I know it's considered sort of a classic film, and I can see why. It was really fun and captivating and just sort of exciting, especially for what it is, which is just 12 people in a room. They're on a jury of a murder case, and they're talking about whether this boy is guilty or innocent. And it was really fucking good, honestly. I really like this one a lot. It was on Tubi again. We've been watching the movies on Tubi because why not? It's free. I recommend it. We're in the collage. No booty sweating would be on workout video. Yeah, maybe. Hey, that's a good point, poser. It sounds hot. Put this on the workout video. I want like an 80s sounding like, let's get physical. I want like an hour long song that's like that for it. That's my vision for and I want to dress like Richard Simmons. I think that would be cool. But one day, one thing at a time. One thing at a time, Stevie. Does Ice-T show up to rap about how the defendant is guilty with his beady little eyes and grabby little hands? He does not. In fact, we don't even see the trial. We only see the jury talking and the very end of the trial when they're like, okay, jury, go make your decision. And then through the conversation with the jurors, we find out not only about what the case is, but we find out about the individuals and what kind of people they are and what are their prejudices and why did they vote guilty or why did they change their vote to not guilty. And Henry Fonda is the main guy, and he's sort of the voice of reason and understanding, and he's seen that this minority boy is probably going to be sentenced to death because his lawyer wasn't trying very hard to speak for him. He wasn't making a very good defense. And Henry Fonda sort of went through all these list things that the prosecution gave him and was like, okay, well maybe this couldn't necessarily be true because it took the old man it would have taken the man 45 seconds to walk with a limp or whatever. It's different things that they took into consideration in the jury, but they didn't take into consideration during the trial, like the lawyers didn't take into consideration. So it's just it's good. This movie is good. And it's like one of the best old movies for aging. Like, I love It's a Wonderful Life, but there's some scenes that haven't aged well in it. But it's from the 40s, and this is from the 50s. But even the parts that are like, okay, this guy's a little racist, but it's for a good point. It's to show that being racist isn't good. It's not good to have prejudices. You should look at the facts. You should look at the people. And that's the narrative of this movie, and that's why it's so strong. And I think it's sort of timeless for that reason. It's more relevant maybe than ever with people being accused or not accused, and just the justice system being put into question in general, and rightfully so. And this movie, it was awesome. I just gotta say. And again, 12 people in a room talking, and it's exciting, exhilarating fucking cinema, And I gotta say that takes excellent writing to pull off something like that. It reminds me of another movie, equally as captivating, but even less people. The whole movie of that is just like 6 people talking about what if this one guy in the room had lived throughout all these different centuries. It's called The Man from Earth, so it's like about a guy who's immortal, and they just talk about him the whole movie, and they're just talking. But it's so cool because you use your imagination, and that makes movies awesome. There can be a cool action movie where you see a bunch of cool stuff, or there can be one with like this where it's just all dialogue, and it's all just really good dialogue, thought out, concise, good arguments, good points, poignant. There's even some good jokes and stuff. Like I loved it. I love this. I don't really have much negative to say about it. There's a couple things, I guess, where I was like, that's a little bit much for the for Henry Fonda's character to assume that like he's taking some liberties with his defense as well as the other people are being like he's guilty, he's guilty. So there's certain points in that where it's like, okay, I don't know about that, but for the most part it's pretty good. And so the movie starts off with it's one person says they're not guilty and it's Henry Fonda, and all the others say he's guilty basically because they just want to go. We see a guy who loves baseball. He seems to just want to vote for whatever just to get out to see the baseball game. And there's people who just want him to get guilty because they believe that minorities are dirty and he's just a racist guy, and with that guy's his true colors are shown later. I don't know. It's a very good movie. Gasp. It's well done. It's exciting. Yeah. I was surprised like how captivated I was by this pretty old movie, because a lot of old movies do not hold up like that. They don't get you engaged like this, and I went in with not super high expectations, honestly. It exceeded them. It was cool, and there's one part at the end where the one guy who like the whole time, it's and sort of spoilers, but like come on, you sort of see it coming as you're watching. Everyone sort of flipped the script except this one guy, so now everyone's voting not guilty except for this one guy's voting guilty. And he's like, what? Come on, you gotta believe it. And he sort of just breaks down because I think this is sort of a metaphor for he's mad that his son has disowned him and he doesn't get to see his son anymore. And it's sort of like a way of him being like, well, I'm gonna put this kid on death row because I'm fucking mad at my son. And he sort of realizes it, I think, in the end. And I guess it's good, but it's, I don't know, it seems a little weird. Because he makes some good points and then everyone doesn't say anything. So I don't know. That part was a little weird, but it's a very, very small nitpick. Still very good movie. I liked it. And I think, honestly, that I'm going to end it pretty soon. As far as the reviews go. But let's look it up on IMDb, actually. What's this movie called? 12 Angry Men, 1957. Yeah, that's the one. Not 1997. With Jack Lemmon. We want the one with Henry Fonda. Okay, so yeah. It's very old. 9 out of 10. Like that's honestly, like, it seems really high, but you know what? It was really good, so I don't think that's totally unfair. Well-made film. And it's kind of funny to see in the 50s just everyone's smoking all the time and people are like coughing and smoking. That was just the time that it was, though. And yeah, the acting is all very good. You know, you have the people who are stuck in their ways, the people who start to realize, okay, maybe he has some points. And one of the points, I remember someone's like, oh, well, he's from a bad neighborhood, so, you know, what they're all like, they're rough, they're all rough, those people from bad neighborhoods. And then one of the jurors like, well, you know, I fucking live in a bad neighborhood, and I'm not going around stabbing people, we're not all bad. That's, you know, you don't need to lump us all in the same thing, and that's sort of another good point of the movie, and the sort of narrative is like, look at the facts, look at who actually did it, don't have prejudices, and it's a very good message. Poignant then and poignant now, more than ever, debatably. But yeah, I think I will stop now. Thanks for watching. And by stop, I mean stop with the review. We got some rapping to do soon, but I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna give it. Actually, let's look at the box office real quick. What is the box office for 12 Angry Men? I wonder if this has the information. What? This doesn't seem right. $350,000 and it made $955. Doesn't seem right, but who knows? That doesn't seem right though, because this is like a big hit, I think. You know, maybe they mean, I don't know. Whatever, it's not that important. It doesn't seem right though. Anyway, I'm gonna give this a rating. Let's put on a song. Here we go. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give it 8 point. It's very good. Honestly, 8.8. That's pretty high, but like it was pretty good. Very good even. Highly recommend this one. It's on Tubi. 8.8 out of 10 dogs. 12 Angry Men, 1957. Maybe I'll watch the 1997 one time. Who knows? But for now, this one, 8.8 out of 10. I liked it. Well written. Good movie. All right. 8.8 out of 10 ducks.